And blessed for the incense. Blessed for the lights. Sabbath. Alright, before we start the prayers, let me put some olive oil on his brother's head. We're going to read Psalms. Let's start our prayer. We're going to use Psalms, the first chapter. Psalms going to be the first prayer. Psalms, the first chapter in Hebrew. Somebody get it in English, all right? Psalms 1 in Hebrew, all right? Ashaya. Ha'ayash. Asherah. La'ah. Halach. Va'aitzah. Reshayam. Wabadarach. Chatayam. La'ah. Amad. Washaba. Latazayam. La'ah. Yasha. Chaya. Nafraf. Yahweh. Kapatazawa. Dafraf. Yahagal. Yawam. Walayala. Wahaya. Ka'aitza. Shadawa. Aya. Palagya. Mayam. Asherah. Payawa. Yatan. Wa'ilawa. La'ah. Yabawa. Wako. Asherah. Ya Aisha. Ya Tazalaya. La'ah. Kan. Harashaya. Kaya. Kamatazah. Asherah. Dada Panwa. Roka. Aya. Kan. La'ah. Yakwama. Rashaya. Bamasapat. Wakhatayam. Ba'idaf. Tazalayakyam. Kaya. Yawadai. Yahweh. Darach. Tazalayakyam. Wadarach. Rashaya. Da'abad. Aman.
Psalms 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the unrighteous, of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Amen.
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 Psalms 120th chapter. Psalms 120th chapter. Okay, Psalms 120th chapter. Shaya, Hama Aiwa, Aya, Yahweh, Vatazarada, Laya, Korahya, Ayniya, Yahweh, Hatazayah, Napasha, Mashapah, Shakor, Malashwan, Ranya, Ma, Yadan, Laka, Wama, Yasaya, Lak, Lasawan, Ranya, Khatazaya, Gabawo, Shanawanya, Ain, Gakaya, Radamna, Awaya, Laya, Kaya, Garafya, Mashak, Shakandaya, Ain, Ahaya, Khoda, Rabah, Shakana, Laya, excuse me, La, Napasha, Ain, Shawana, Shalom, Anya, Shalom, Wakaya, Adaba, Hama, Lama, Lakama, Aman.
Psalms 120. In my distress I cried unto the Lord, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. Woe is me that I sojourn in the set, that I dwell in the tents of Kedar. My soul hath long dwelt with him that hateth peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. Amen.
Psalms 123rd chapter. Psalms the 123rd chapter. Shaya, Hama Aiwa, Ayika, Nasa Afya, Ayanya, Hayashaya, Vashamayam, Ana, Kaayamya, Aybayam, Ayo, Ya, Alawan, Yaham, Kaayanya, Shapafka, Ayo, Ya, Gabarada, Khan, Ayanyawa, Ayo, Yahweh, Alahaynawa, Ay, Shaya Khanwa, Yahweh, Kanawa, Kaya, Ra, Shabainawa, Bawan, Rabah, Shabai, La, Napashnawa, Ala Aiga, Nayam, Habawaz, Lagawanyam, Aman.
Psalms 123. Unto thee lift up my eyes, O thou that dwellest in the heavens. Behold, as the eyes of servants look into the hands of the masters, and as the eyes of a maiden unto the hand of her mistress. 123?
Yeah.
Behold, as the eyes of the servant look into the hands of the masters, and as the eyes of her maiden into the hands of her mistress, so our eyes wait upon the Lord our God until that he have mercy upon us. Have mercy upon us, O Lord, have mercy upon us, for we are exceedingly filled with contempt. Our soul is exceedingly filled with the scorning of those that are at ease, and with the contempt of the proud. Amen.
All right. Shema.
Shema.
Yasha Allah.
Yasha Allah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh. Elohim. Yahweh. Akkad. Shema.
Yasha Allah.
Yasha Allah. Yahweh. Elohim. Yahweh. Akkad. Shema. Yasha Allah. Yahweh. Elohim. Yahweh. Akkad.
You know, if the Most High, part of the Most High is one. Ha'aishara matazawat, the Ten Commandments in Hebrew. La'at, Yahaya, Laka, Alahaya, Akaya, Apaya, La'at, La'isha, Laka, Wasa, La'at, Abadan, La'at, Lakwak'a, Sham, Yahweh, Washua, Zaka, Ayawam, Hashabah, Lakodashwa, Kabad, Abaka, Wa'amaka, La'at, the Ratazak. La'a, the Na'a, La'a, Dagana, La'a, Daina, Shakur, La'a, Lakamat, Ko, Ashraf, Raida, Aman. And the Most High spake of the universe, and the Most High power, which had brought the elder of Egypt out of the house of bondage, that shall have no other powers before me, that shall not make unto a great image, or any lengths of anything that have the above the earth beneath, or that's in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow thyself to nor serve them. For I, the Most High power, make jealous power, visit the iniquities and fall upon the children to the third and fourth generation that hate me, shall have mercy to the thousand love you keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High in vain. For the Most High who guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. 6 days shall they do a work, but the Sabbath is the Sabbath of the Most High power. In it that is their work, that thy son, now daughter, thy man shall make like cattle, now stranger within that gate. For in 6 days the Most High inherited the earth, the sea, on the east, and rest is 7 days. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that they be born to a land, which the Most High that power given. That's not murder, that's committing adultery, that's not steal, that's not bear false witness against thy neighbor, that's not compare to his house, that's not compare to his wife, nor his man shall the maid shall ox to his ass, not anything thy neighbor is Aman. Yeshabim, be seated. We don't have the Rams on, so alright. No, just Azariah come up. Azariah.
Yahweh.
No. Azariah ban Manashah ban Yasha'ala.
Azariah ban Manashah ban Yasharallah.
Azariah ban Manashah ban Yasha'ala.
Yahweh ba Shem Yashah Barakatah.
Yahweh ba Hashem Abashah Barakatah. Alright, I know it. Alright, Amad, point your halfway down, stand and face the east. Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushan, Shabai, Lanawa, Aita, Shalak, Micah Walahayim, Ashma'ayim, Yasha'Allah, Barak, Yasha'Allah, Rapah, Yasha'Allah, Shema'ayim, Abiyafim, Barak, Abiyafim, Rapah, Abiyafim, Ba'asham, Yahushan, Tuwala, Aman. Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushan, Shammai, Lanawa, Shalak, Ahabim, Rabim, Apayim, Rabim, Shalalim, Rabim, Barakim, Barakim, Ayim, Rayim, Shekoyim, La'akim, Lahabi Sapayim, Masha Allah, Bahasham, Yahushai, Dawada, Aman. Alright, repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed when you have to get to us the law. Barakatah Yahweh. Hawa'a. Tananawa. Hatawara. Blessed when you have to get to us to like to see. Barakatah Yahweh. Hawa'a. Tananawa. Awu. Lara'a. Blessed when you have to get to us around from the people. Barakatah Yahweh. Hawa'a. Tananawa. Ayah. Quran. Laqara'a. Na'ayin. Blessed when you have to get to us the fruit of the vine. Washington's not here yet. Azariah. Akims. Barakatah Yahweh. Ahawa'a. Latananawa. Payah. Hagapen. Tawaraman. La Yasha'ala. Form Yasha'ala. Shabby, be seated. Tonight is the Feast of Weeks. 50 days from the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So tonight is a high holy day, a holy convocation of the Most High. And we're just going to touch on some scriptures, going over our feast day, our high holy day, and what it's about. Okay? So I want brothers to get the scripture. Let's go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. So we know that the Feast of Weeks come right after Passover. After the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. After the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you count 7 Sabbaths, and then an extra day, which is the 50th day, and you have the Feast of Weeks. Who's that? Is that fun? Who's that?
Go to 23rd chapter, what verse?
Leviticus 23 and 9.
Leviticus what?
23 and 9. Matter of fact, we're going to read, let's start at Leviticus 23 verse 4. Start Leviticus 23 verse 4. That's alright, you read.
Leviticus chapter 23 verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
Right, so these high holy days must be in the season. Alright? Like, for instance, Passover or Feast of Unleavened Bread. That starts in the beginning of our year, during the springtime. So Passover must always be in the springtime. It can't be in winter. And it can't be in the summertime or the fall. It must always be in springtime. That's why I said in its season. Okay? So, when brothers celebrating Passover in February or early March, that's still the winter season. So we know, just by the season, we know that it's off. So everything had to be in the season, you understand? Now we in the Feast of Weeks. This is towards the end. End of the springtime. Next month would be summer. Alright? According to according to the moons and stuff like that. So right now we're at the end of spring. So that's when we gather all the fruits, the first fruits of the land. Alright? So read on.
Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of Unleavened Bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
So that high holy day passed. That's the first high holy day of our year. So when you read Leviticus the 23rd chapter, that's mentioned first. Alright, Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread. Read on.
In the first day ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. In the 7th day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right. Read on.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest.
Right. So now, when you go into the land, when we leave it out of Egypt, and we went to our own land, the Most High gave us a system that the first of the crops that we grow and the sheep, we give it to the priest. All right, read on.
Verse 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for Salaki. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. And ye shall offer that day.
Here's up.
That's the fourth philosophy. In the fourth philosophy, because it's Palm Sunday stuff.
Right.
That belongs to him.
Right.
Because Christians bring these palms, palms.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Christian church.
Mm-hmm.
It's fourth philosophy.
Fourth philosophy. Right.
Fourth philosophy.
Right. So read on, brother.
Verse 12.
This belongs to us.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. And ye shall offer that day, when ye wave the sheaf, a he-lamb without blemish of the first year, for a burnt offering unto the Lord.
So when we was in our land, we did sacrifices, to the Most High. The priest would do that, but we don't do the sacrificial law no more. That was done away with. Christ was the last sacrifice. All right, but these are things that we did once we got into the land. Read on.
And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, and offering made by fire unto the Lord, for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of a hin.
Right. Read on.
Verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your power. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
Yeah, so all your dwellings. So when brothers or these new generation Israelites say you can't keep the high holy days unless you're in the land, they bug the hell out. It says in all your dwellings throughout your generation. This is our culture. This is what helped identify us, not just saying the Jews are black. All right, we know the Jews are black, and they don't have to be black. They come out with leopard skin, all right, or what you call albino baby. All right, so we know that the real Jews are black, but there's more to it than just that. Now this helps identify who we are further down the line. So we got to keep our customs. That helps identify us. It helps separate us from everybody else, set apart. Okay? So read that last line again. It says, it shall be a statute forever.
It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
Yeah, all your dwellings. When you're in America, South America, Africa, Europe, Egypt, we got to keep these customs. These are our customs. We got to keep it.
And this is in the Torah, correct?
Right. The first 5 books. Alright. So read on.
And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
So after the Feast of Unleavened Bread, we had to count 7 Sabbaths. So that's pretty much saying 7 times 7. So 7 weeks. Alright, 7 weeks, which is 7 days. That's 49 days. Read on.
Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall...
So 50 days. So we know now, when it says 7 Sabbaths, it's talking about 7 times 7. 7 days times 7 weeks, okay? 49. So math is... So you got math in the Bible, you got science in the Bible, you got history in the Bible, you got everything in the Bible. The Bible is an intelligent book. Alright, read on.
Even unto the morrow, after the 7th Sabbath, shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord.
Read on.
Ye shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2 deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Lord. And
right. So these are the first fruits of the Lord. Read on.
And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord, with their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savour unto the Lord. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings.
So how come we don't do that today, Kataza?
Because the Lord's sacrifice is not instituted.
Why?
It's not instituted because we do not bring our animals to slaughter with bloodshed.
Why?
The Most High sanctified that we're not required to do that anymore.
Why? So the Yahushua, Christ.
Yeah. Yahushua was the ultimate sacrifice.
Right. So read on.
Verse 20. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord. With the 2 lambs, they shall be holy to the Lord for the priests. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be a holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations.
So this is a commandment. We got to keep this in all your doings throughout your generation. This is something that can't be stopped. We got to continue doing this. I mean, if you're in America and you say, I can't keep these customs unless I'm in Israel, then you're going to lose half of your identity. So how are you going to know anything about your culture if you don't practice it? Hold that, get Judges 5 and 11. Alright, it's beneficial to you. Why wouldn't you keep the customs where you at? Huh? Judges 5 and 11.
Judges.
Yeah. Read that.
Judges chapter 5 verse 11. Got it up?
Just read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawn water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
Right, so we're going to rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High. So what we're doing now, we're rehearsing the righteous acts. Is it 100% correct? Maybe not, but we're going to rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High. Ain't no harm in doing what we're doing. Serving the Most High, keeping the high holy days according to the Bible, rather than be out on the streets and get in trouble. Alright? Learning our customs and perfecting our craft every day. Alright? So go back to where you was at.
Will I continue?
What verse you in now?
No,
22nd verse. No, what's up? Continue.
Even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel, then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
Right. Okay, go back to your side.
Okay, verse 20. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord. With the 2 lambs, they shall be holy to the Lord for the priests. Verse 21. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be a holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations.
Read on.
And when ye reap the harvest of your land.
So once you gather up all the stuff that you you know, the vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. Read on.
Thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field. When thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest.
Right, so that means you're not supposed to clean up the whole land. Meaning, if there's stuff in the corner and stuff out here, the poor people are supposed to get it. See, the white man, the devil, he don't do that. He makes sure he takes everything. He makes sure the poor gets nothing. You know, he's the devil the Bible speaks of. He don't let the poor people get it. Alright, read on.
Thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor, and to the stranger I am the Lord your power.
So that's a commandment. You better leave it to the poor and the strangers. See, that would make us a righteous nation. Keeping these customs and keeping these ordinances according to the Bible, that would make us righteous. People will have to, even if the white man hate us or the other nation hate us, they will have to acknowledge us as a righteous people, as a righteous nation, because we're doing this. Alright, you get a little bit of fruit in the corner there, you leave that for the poor and the strangers. You don't touch that. Even though it's your land and it's your fruits, it's your harvest, the Most High said, don't touch it. You leave it there. That's a commandment. Alright? He said, I'm your Lord, your God, your power. Alright? So let's go to Deuteronomy 8 verse 4. Deuteronomy 18 chapter 4 verse, excuse me. What is the first fruits?
Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 4. The first fruit also of thy corn.
Matter of fact, let's read up to read the first verse.
First? Okay.
Deuteronomy the 18th chapter and the first verse. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 1. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part, no inheritance with Israel.
So the Levites, see, the Most High is dope. The Most High, he said the Levites will have nothing. Meaning, you get a house, or you get say we get a land together. Like I always push, let's buy some land. As a right, we get no parts of the land. All right. So as a right, we get no parts of the land. How you gonna eat and live? So whatever I get, I'm gonna give him a tenth of it. Whatever you have, you gonna give him a tenth. Or whatever you have, you gonna give him a tenth. That way, he will have something for himself. But he's providing a service for us through the Most High. So read.
The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part, nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire, and his inheritance.
So every offering that we make to the Most High, that goes to the priest. The priest eat that up.
We're going to start on verse 2.
We're in verse 2 now. Read on.
Verse 2. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he had said unto them.
Right. So the Most High is the Levites' inheritance. Whatever you get to the Most High belongs to the priest. And that's where you get, tithes from. You got these churches get all these different benefits. Because that system comes from the Bible. We gave to the priest, and priests provide a service for the whole entire nation. Alright? Read on.
Verse 3. And this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give unto the priest the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the maw.
Read on.
Verse 4. The first fruit also of thy corn.
So the first fruit also of thy corn, read on.
Of thy wine.
Of that wine.
And of thy oil. And the first of the fleece of thy sheep, thou shalt give him.
Right, so all that stuff will go to the priest. So the first of it we give to the priest.
Shall thou give him? No, shall thou give him?
Shall thou give him? All right, so
He
everything.
said thou shalt.
So all that stuff should go to the priest. So the first of it goes straight to them, not to us. But when Esau gets something, he gets the best of it, and then we get the back end of it, which is off. Whereas once we harvest whatever we get, the first time we get the crop, that's why it's called the first fruits. We give it straight to the Levites. We don't take none of it. We don't touch nothing on our land first. First of it goes to the Levites. The first fruits goes to the Levites. Okay. Go to Exodus. Go to Exodus, the 23rd chapter, and the 16th verse. You want us to go up?
Exodus
23, verse 16.
Exodus 23.
Exodus chapter 23.
Wait, let me get it.
All right.
You got it, Katarza?
Come on.
Exodus 23, what?
16.
I got it. The first harvest.
Right. Azariah, go read. Read Azariah.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 16. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field.
Right.
3 times in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord.
Right. So 3 times a year, thy male should appear before the Lord. And what are the 3 high holy days?
Passover.
Passover.
Purim.
No, not Purim.
Passover. Feast of Lights.
No, that's Hanukkah. Not Feast of Lights. What's the second one?
Feast of First Fruits.
Feast of First Fruits was the third one.
I got the first one.
You got the first one right. Tabernacles. Alright? Those 3 high holy days, all males must appear before the Most High. Alright? So this is the second high holy day. Everybody's supposed to come here and reverence them. I mean, you got a few other high holy days, but these 3 main high holy days, everybody's supposed to come to the Most High. Alright? So, where we at? Let's go to Exodus 34. Matter of fact, jump up to the 14th verse. Stay in the same chapter. Go up to the 14th verse and read that.
Chapter 23, verse 14. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year.
So there's 3 main high holy days you gotta keep in a year with the Most High. Read.
Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread.
The feast of unleavened bread, which is around Passover. Read on.
Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I command thee, and the time appointed of the month Abib, for in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty.
Right. So also when we all come together, we all gotta give something. $5, $10, whatever you have to offer. Every man supposed to come with something. They can't come empty. So this is a practice we gotta start having. Alright? All our brothers and sisters that come to the Most High and don't show up empty handed either. You don't do that when you go to the clubs, when you go to the parties, when you go to church, you don't do that. So when you come here into Israel, don't appear before the Most High empty. Alright? Go to Exodus 34 verse 22. Any questions? Exodus 34 verse 22. So this is something we want to practice. We want to practice our customs, and this is a nice system. So we can get some land and work on these customs and these rituals, with one another, with each other. Get a small amount, of land, 5 acres, 10 acres. We could do that. We can systematically perform this act. So read what you got.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 22.
22.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 22. And thou shalt observe the Feast of Weeks.
So we're in the Feast of Weeks, right? So it's also called the Feast of Weeks, the Feast of First Fruits. Read on.
Of the first fruits of wheat harvest.
Right.
And the Feast of Ingathering at the year's end.
And it's also another word for it. What's another word for it? Besides the Feast of Weeks, the Feast of First Fruits, and the Feast of Ingatherings, there's another name for it.
Feast of Pentecost.
Feast of Pentecost. And what do that mean?
Pente means 50.
Right. 50 days from the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Very good. It's a smart man right here. Alright, read on.
Verse 23. Thrice in the year shall all your men children appear before the Lord, the power of Israel.
So once again, 3 times out the year, and we know what those high holy days are. should these men appear before the Most High. So all the men supposed to be here. We only got a handful of brothers here, but hopefully in the future we have more brothers here. Everybody coming on one accord. All right. Go to 26th verse.
Verse 26. The first of the firstfruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord thy power. Thou shalt not seek a kid in his mother's milk.
Right. Okay. So let's go to Deuteronomy 16. Excuse me. Deuteronomy. Yeah, 16 verse 9. Read that. Well, when everybody get it.
Deuteronomy what?
16 verse 9. Everybody say come when they have it.
16?
Yes.
Deuteronomy chapter 16.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 9. 7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the cord. And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Lord thy power with a tribute of a freewill offering of thy land.
So of thy hand.
Of thy hand.
So free will offering, you want to freely give something. You don't want nobody to force you. You know, freely give to the Most High. $5, $10, $50, $100. Freely give. Alright? That's how we build this thing up. That's how we're going to build a nation. You can't be tight with your pockets. Everybody got to freely give to the Most High. Give to the nation. And not be corrupt with it either. The leaders, the elders, the examples can't be corrupt. Freely give to the Most High so we can build this nation. Alright, so the Most High got a system in place. All we have to do is follow it. Read on.
Which thou shalt give unto the Lord thy power, according as the Lord thy power had blessed thee.
Yeah, so according to so whatever you have, you give. According to how the Most High bless you. If you're a poor man, you only give a little, but if you're a rich man, you can give more. Alright, read on.
Verse 11. And thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy power.
Drop that. Go to 16. Drop down to 16.
Verse 16. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy power in the place which he shall choose.
Once again, it's calling out all males. All males got to come here and observe these 3 main high holy days. They must appear before the Most High. Read on.
In the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and
see the feast of unleavened bread and the feast of weeks, which is Pentecost, Ingathering, Firstfruits. Read on.
And in the feast of tabernacles,
and feast of tabernacles, dwelling in booths. Read on.
And they shall not appear before the Lord empty.
Right. Do not appear before the Most High empty. Okay.
One more. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord thy power, which he had given thee.
Right. But now I want y'all to go to Deuteronomy 26, verse 1.
Chapter 26.
Yeah, 26 and 1. Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 1. Alright.
So these are great high holy days. These high holy days are good. It uplifts my spirit, and it should uplift your spirits as well. Because you want to do this. This is a great system that the Most High came up with. Alright? You follow the system, you look like a genius. This is what's going to help build the nation. The nation is not built yet because brothers are not following that ordinance from the Most High. Alright?
Alright, so we're about to read Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 1. And it shall be, when thou art come in unto the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, for an inheritance, and possess it, and dwellest therein. That thou shalt take of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which shall bring of thy land, that the Lord thy power giveth thee, and shall put it,
Break it down.
We're going to start over. Chapter 20, Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 1. And it shall be, when thou art come in unto the land, which the Lord thy power giveth thee for an inheritance, and possess it, and dwellest therein, that thou shalt take of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which thou shalt bring of thy land, that the Lord thy power giveth thee, and shalt put it in a basket, and shall go unto the place which the Lord thy power shall choose to place his name there.
And what is that? And what is the place that Most High choose? He chooses a name. Jerusalem, Israel, Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. So that's what the second verse. Read on.
Verse 3. And thou shalt go unto the priest that shall be in those days, and say unto him, I profess this day unto the Lord thy power, that I am come unto the country which the Lord sware unto our fathers for to give us. And the priest shall take the basket out of thy hand, and set it down before the altar of the Lord thy power.
So that's the order. So we give an offering to the Most High, but it's being given to the priest, and we have professed, ourselves to the priest. Read on.
Verse 5. And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord thy power, I Syrian ready to perish was my father, and he went down into Egypt and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation great, mighty, and populous.
Right. So it's an Assyrian. So it's really talking about Jacob, because Jacob was dwelling in Syria. All right. So that's where he was coming from during the famine. All right. So Israel went down, was ready to perish. Why was they ready to perish? Why was Israel ready to perish? Because it's not talking about the Assyrians. That's where we sojourn at. What was making us ready to perish, Kataza?
I was ready to make us perish. The Pharaoh wanted to take all of Israel out.
No. We wasn't Israel.
Oh.
What was the reason for us going to Israel in the first place?
Because we was the Most High's chosen nation, and when we was delivered out of Egypt, we was the smallest nation, and being the smallest nation, it made us chosen out of all nations.
No, what made us go to Egypt?
Our forefathers sojourned there for 430 years.
Why?
Every nation we go, Israelites.
Look like them. Romans?
No, this is
What?
our first captivity in Egypt. What was the purpose of us being in Egypt, Kataza? What were we saying in Egypt?
While we was
That's alright. What was the reason for us being in Egypt? Why were we there in the first place?
every nation the Israelites went through, we built it up as a great nation.
I didn't ask you that, and that's incorrect. The reason why we was in Egypt because there was a famine. There was a famine throughout the world. There was a famine, so we went into Egypt because Joseph was in Egypt, and he interpreted Pharaoh's dream, and he told Pharaoh how to keep the crops, to keep the food, save the food, and all nations would come to him for food. Israel was suffering from a famine too, because it's outside of Egypt. So the fact that Joseph, his brother, a Hebrew, an Israelite, was able to bring his family in. So read that part again now. That's why we was in Egypt. Because we dwelt there under the protection of our brother Joseph. We was ready to die. So read that again.
Verse 5. And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord thy power, a Syrian ready to perish was my father.
Yeah, Jacob was ready to pass away. Read on.
And he went down into Egypt and sojourned there with a few.
Right.
And became there a nation great, mighty, and populous.
Right, so that's how we went to captivity. It's like, yo, this nation is great and powerful. They multiply in numbers, remember? In Exodus, they multiply in numbers. Read on.
And the Egyptians evil entreated us.
So this is like, oh, so we should enslave them because they might make a treaty with the other nations and make war against us. So let's enslave them with hard bondage. Read on.
And afflicted us and laid upon us hard bondage.
You see that? Read on.
And when we cried unto the Lord, thy power of our fathers, the Lord heard our voice and looked on our affliction and our labor and our oppression.
So keep that in mind. It says we cry to the Most High. That's what we got. Cry mean like pray. We pray to the Most High. We call the Most High out. And he heard our cry. So we got to do that here in America. We can't get comfortable. We got to cry to the Most High every day. We got to make our supplication, our prayers, and pray to the Most High that he deliver us out of Egypt, out of America, and destroy this country, and destroy the white man, and destroy his rulership. Read on.
And the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand, and with an outstretched arm, and with great terribleness, and with signs, and with wonders. And he had brought us into this place, and have given us this land, even a land that floweth with milk and honey. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruits of the land.
So now I'll give you a rundown. So now I give you, so this is everything we went through to get our land. So now, here I'm giving you the first fruits of the land. I'm giving it to the Levites as an offering or what have you. Read on.
Which thou, O Lord, hast given me, and thou shalt set it before the Lord thy power, and worship before the Lord thy power. And thou shalt rejoice in every good thing which the Lord thy power hath given unto thee, and unto thy house, thou and the Levite, and the stranger that is among you.
Right. Alright, so any questions? Kataza, any questions?
No questions.
Alright, let's go to 2 Chronicles 8, verse 13. 2 Chronicles 8, verse 13. 2 Chronicles 8, verse 13. Everybody get it? Say Connie.
Come. Second Chronicles, brother.
Toward the front.
You're in the New Testament. You gotta go.
Old Testament.
It's like by Deuteronomy. Go. Yeah.
Second Chronicles.
I got 2 Chronicles
8, verse 13.
2 Chronicles.
You gotta go up.
according.
Even. So you gotta be in Second Chronicles.
This was according to
Chronicles.
8th chapter.
Yeah, 8th chapter.
Verse 13. 13th verse.
According, this is according to.
Then you probably in First Chronicles.
Huh?
You in First Chronicles?
No, the second book of Chronicles.
Help him out,
Help
Qatar.
him out.
Yeah, go over there, Qatar.
Say it
Help
again.
him out.
Chronicle, Chinese Chronicle. Hold on.
Yeah, he's in the right page. Go to we starting at verse 13.
Alright, 2 Chronicles chapter 8, verse 13. Even after a certain rate every day, offering according to the commandment of Moses on the Sabbaths and on the new moons.
So you gotta keep the Sabbath, you gotta keep the new moon. One Israelite group said the new moons are off. You're not supposed to follow the moons. But that's not what the scriptures say.
Right.
And a lot of these people don't read the Bible like that. They don't follow, they go by what somebody else say. They read in other books. They refuse to read the Bible. You gotta read what the Bible has to say.
Right.
Understand? So read on.
And on the solemn feast,
And on the solemn feast, read on.
3 times in the year, even in the feast of unleavened bread,
Right? Feast of unleavened bread, which is Passover, that in April that is passed. Read on.
and in the feast of weeks,
Which is tonight,
and in the feast of tabernacles.
which will be around October, sometime in October, which is in the fall, and it's season. All right.
Thank you, bro.
Verse 14. And he appointed according to the order of David his father, the courses of the priests to their service,
Thank you.
and the Levites to their charges to praise and minister before the priests, as the duty of every day required. The porters also by their courses at every gate. For so had David For so had David, the man of the Most High, commanded.
Right. So this is what we did in our land, and we gotta get back into doing that. We gotta get back into that level. All right. We gotta be training. We gotta work on our finance. We gotta work on our health. All right. We gotta become a powerful, strong nation again. That's what we have to do. All right. Let's go to Nehemiah, the 10th chapter. Nehemiah 10, verse 35.
Nehemiah 10 and 5. Nehemiah chapter 10, verse 5. All right.
Excuse me. Nehemiah 10, verse 35.
Okay.
Nehemiah 10, verse 35. For everybody get us a con.
6, 7, 7, 7. Now go to chapter 10.
So right now we having the service, and after the service, we have a small little feast. Usually the next day, which will be on Sunday, which is the 50th day, we have an end gathering. We have fruits and vegetables and brothers and sisters coming over. We'll probably do that next year on a more larger scale when more brothers and sisters come in. All right. So with that, Nehemiah 10, verse 35.
Nehemiah chapter 10, verse 35. And to bring the first fruits of our ground, and the first fruits of all fruit of all trees, year by year, unto the house of the Lord.
Yeah, so of the ground, of the trees, apples, oranges, of the ground, carrots, whatever, lettuce, whatever, green herbs, all right? Year by year unto the house of the Most High, you got to bring it to the temple. Read on.
Also the firstborn of our sons, and of our cattle, as it is written in the law, and the firstlings of our herds and of our flocks, to bring to the house of our power, unto the priests that minister in the house of our power.
So they get the first of everything, all right? Read on.
Verse 37. And that we should bring the first fruits of our dough, and our offerings, and the fruit of all manner of trees, of wine, and of oil, unto the priests, to the chambers of the house of our power, and the tithes of our ground, unto the Levites, that the same Levites might have the tithes in all the cities of our tillage.
Right, so the priests, they didn't have it. They wasn't farmers. They wasn't soldiers or warriors. They didn't have no type of living. They didn't have a living. So they were just priests. They only did the work of the Most High. So we would give them our living, the 10th part of it. So every brother give a tenth of their earning, and they give it to the priest, so that the priest will have their own living. All right, so that everything is systematic. All right. Go to 12th chapter. 12th chapter, 44 verse. 12:44.
Nehemiah chapter 12, verse 44. And at that time was some appointed over the chambers for the treasures, for the offerings, for the first fruits.
Yeah, for the offering of the first fruits, the treasure. So they had a treasure house, which you call today a bank. All right, they had a bank. So we need a bank in Israel. But we got to be righteous, sincere, uncorruptible, and we need a bank in Israel. All right, we got to put the first fruits, the first fruit of everything into that bank, so that our nation will have something. Read on.
And for the tithes to gather into them out of the fields of the cities the portion of the law for the priests and Levites. For Judah rejoiced, for the priests and for the Levites that waited.
Right, they rejoice of this. And we have to do the same. We have to rejoice. This is a good thing. All right? Any questions, brothers? Give me Ezekiel 44 verse 30.
Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 30. And the first of all the first fruits of all things, and every oblation of every sort of your oblations shall be the priest. Ye shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough, that he may cause the blessing to rest in thy house.
Right, so you know, brothers and sisters in the nation, they be tight. They be tight with their money. They be tight with their pocket. They be tight with everything. They broke. They don't have this. They don't have that. And it's so ironic. I be watching. I was looking at certain videos on Facebook, Instagram. You know, looking at certain stuff and how. Get that. How you know, Jake, our people. Jake, they boast about having money. They buy Michael Jordan sneakers. They buy
Who is it?
They buy Michael Jordan sneakers.
Who is it?
Just let them in. Let them in. Come on, brother. You know who it is. Let them in. So they spend all their money. They pop bottles at the club, but you got homeless. Everybody run into a homeless person in the street, and they can't give them $1. They can't give them $2. Okay? But they popping bottles for liquor. I think I heard it's like $100 a bottle in there. That's what I heard. All right, so they popping bottles, they buying $250 pair of sneakers, but they can't give a homeless man or a homeless woman or family these $5. Everybody's tight. But when you read the scriptures, which is tonight's the first fruits, we're supposed to give the first to the Levite. So we don't have that same ordinance no more. So we should give the first to the poor and the people that's in despair. All right. So we're not even doing that. We're supposed to get the first, not you look out for yourself first. Whatever you get your check. The first you get a $5 check this week. You take $50 out and give it to this person. Come in. All right, you give it to that person. They don't even do that. They're tight.
It's ready to go.
Okay. Oh yeah, Max. All right, so they be tight. They don't want to give their peoples nothing. All right. So where you at now?
I'll finish 30.
Read 30 again. Read it again.
And the first of all the first fruits of all things, and every oblation of every sort of your oblations, shall be the priest. Ye shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough, that he may cause the blessing to rest in thy house.
So we should have that mindset. That's why you have to learn about your customs. You gotta learn about being a Hebrew Israelite. You have to learn these things. So once you get accustomed to this, you say, all right, it's the first fruit, it's the I gotta give a 10th part, give it to the poor people. You see that homeless man in the street with nothing? $2 is not gonna hurt you. You buy video games for $60, sneakers for $100, $150. I be spending liquor. I was in the store to buy some red wine for young, and they be buying liquor for like $20, $30. Liquor. What the hell is liquor? $30, $40. They want to get turned up, you know? But they can't give a homeless man $2, $3. Like it's gonna kill him. Even if he's not gonna do the right thing with it, what's $2 to you? When you buy $50 sneakers. You know, $150 sneakers and all these expensive stuff that you really don't need. Bragging about spending your money on garbage that have no value. But once you come back into this knowledge and knowing who you are, you can do the right thing. You can do right by the Most High. Alright? So that's it on that. Now let's go into go to Acts. Get Acts the 2nd chapter and the 1st verse. Acts 2 and 1.
That's what Come to class, I've been a Bible apocryphal. Acts what?
Acts 2 and 1.
Everybody get it, say come. Charles, you got it? Okay.
Acts 2 and 1. Read that.
Acts chapter 2, verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting.
So what is Pentecost? When you read it, because now in the New Testament, you know that it's not written in Hebrew, it's written in Latin and Greek. So what is that Pentecost now? What is the day of Pentecost?
The 50th day.
So it's the Feast of Weeks, it's the first fruits, it's tonight, right? So they came together, they all got together like we're doing tonight, and the Holy Spirit, that Spirit just came on them for them to do the work, alright? So now it just say Pentecost, which means 50th day. Alright? Get Acts 20 verse 16.
What?
20th chapter, the 16th verse.
For Paul.
There you go.
Yeah. Acts chapter 20, verse 16. For Paul had determined to sail by Ephesus, because he would not spend the time in Asia, for he hasted if it were possible for him to be at Jerusalem the day of Pentecost.
So he's trying to rush to get to Jerusalem from Pentecost, but I don't think he made it, because Asia is a distance from Israel, showing you that they didn't always keep the high holy days in Israel. So white brothers like, you know, you gotta keep it in Israel, you gotta keep it in Israel, or you can't do it. That's false.
Right.
That's not understanding that scripture. And we might touch on that just to give people that understanding. So get Numbers 28 and 16. Go to the book of Numbers 28 verse 16. wait a minute, hold on for a minute.
Hold on, hold on.
26, 26, 26. Mm-hmm.
26.
No, Numbers 28 chapter, 26 verse.
Oh, 28. 28, 26.
28, 26. Numbers 28 verse 26.
Numbers chapter 28, verse 26. Also, in the day of the first fruits, when ye bring a new meat offering unto the Lord, after your weeks be out, ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work.
So it's a Sabbath. So no servile work is a holy convocation. So we all supposed to come together and, like I said, you know, acknowledge the day of the Most High, celebrate, fellowship with the brothers, and build with one another. Con?
Con.
Alright, so that's what we got to do. Alright, that was the last scripture. Any questions? Any comments? So when you read the Bible and you get with this, okay, this is good stuff. I don't know how people say this. It's the white man's book. It's plagiarized. It comes. No. This thing gets deep. Now we can just practice this on a higher level. You can see the profit coming out. You can see, like, we can get some land. We can do this. We can do that. You can see the benefits of having keeping these customs, these rituals that we have. All right. So with that, I'm just gonna get up and do the anointing prayer. We're gonna bless the food. We're gonna bless the food, the drinks, the food, the drinks. All right. The food, the drinks, anointing prayer, and the closing prayer. All right. So I imagine upon your help with them, stand and face the east. We gotta give this guy here some oil, looking like a skinhead.
Move on the camera. Move. Oh, move up.
So I imagine upon your help with them, stand and face the east. Then do the anointing prayer. That's right, repeat after me. Ya Barak Yahweh.
Ya Barak Yahweh.
Veshamaka.
Veshamaka.
Ya Al Yahweh.
Al Yahweh.
Paniwa.
Paniwa.
Ayaka.
Alaka.
Vekanka.
Alakanka.
Ya Al Yahweh.
Shaya.
Paniwa.
Paniwa.
Ayaka.
Alaka.
Veshamaka.
Veshamaka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Basha.
Basha.
Yahusha.
Yahusha.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapar.
Rapar.
Guwak.
Gawak.
Guwak.
Gawak.
Guwak.
Gawak.
Kataza.
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 Guadalupe.
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 Azariah.
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 Shagabah.
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 Ba'asham.
Ba'asham.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
The water.
The water.
Aman.
Aman.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'asham.
Ba'asham.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Rakanah.
Rakanah.
Waisha'Allah.
Waisha'Allah.
Wahabi is a part.
Wahabi is a part.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Yasha'Allah.
Yasha'Allah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Akad. Listen for the food. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'asham.
Ba'asham.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Let me do it all over. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'asham.
Ba'asham.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Barak.
Barak.
Tarakna.
Tarakna.
Washadana.
Washadana.
Duwala Yahweh.
Duwala Yahweh.
Duwala Yahushua.
Duwala Yahushua.
Duwala Aman.
Duwala Aman.
Alright? Men of Israel, Amaya Shabbat. Alright? So not bad. Service pretty good. Short. And this is what we have to do. We gotta be more consistent, more sharper, more crisp, but not bad. So that's alright. Quarter salute.
Men of Israel, Amadu. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatam. Kurmashala. Kurmashala. Matazwa. Say.
Yajamata.
Yazimata. Dismissed.
Enjoy the feast, brother. Alright? Make brother play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Move. Love you.